Good
Big homie,
morning.
Big Tigger.
What's
How y'all
happening,
doing,
bro?
man?
How are you this
Here we go.
morning?
I'm good. How y'all doing this morning?
We all
doing
right.
excellent.
You know, we doing all right.
Rashad, what does it mean or does it not mean that this man is found guilty?
A lot of laws are going to be tested and tried right now. So Donald Trump being found guilty of 34 felony indictments means that typically, if he was an average individual, he would be banned from most states because in most states you cannot register to vote, participate in voting, or gain what's called ballot access if you are currently a convicted felon
Right.
and serving your felony conviction, which he will still be serving by the time the election day comes. Now, there's some nuance in this. The Constitution provides very simple language to qualify to run for president of the United States, okay? Of age, of residential status, meaning 14 years in the United States of America, at least 35 years of age, and naturally you have to be what's called a natural-born citizen, which there has been some debate about what that means. But these are simple parameters. However, states have added additional parameters, qualifications, for individuals beyond that. So, for example, you have the right to vote. So the Constitution protects your right to vote. It doesn't say that your right to vote gets revoked because you are a convicted felon. However, states have been able to write that into their laws and some in their constitution per state to bar people from voting, even though the Constitution does not provide that disqualifying language.
Right.
Which also means just because the Constitution does not say it precisely, it doesn't mean states cannot do it precisely, meaning disqualify Trump from ballot access.
Oh, wow.
Now, see, Rashad, I can see why a lot of people are discouraged from voting because, again, the it seems like the Constitution is as it applies to who they want to apply to. Because right now it's just confusing as a person listening to this. You know, you have a man he have these felonies, but he's still allowed to run for the president's seat. It's just beyond me.
Yeah, it is completely insane to believe we live in a country where a person who's convicted of 34 felonies can still run for president. However, I just reported a few weeks ago when the state of Florida was literally raiding black people's homes
Right.
who dared to register to vote because they are currently serving a probation or parole sentence via their felony conviction. So you have this incongruency and hypocrisy codified in our law.
Rashad Richey from 1380 WAOK is our guest this morning. So, Rashad, you mentioned that some states could not allow Trump to be on the ballot. Do you think that will actually happen?
The challenge is going to be put forth for sure. As a matter of fact, there are some states, based on my research this morning, they are already getting prepared to protect Donald Trump in Republican states, which means that they know challenges are coming to eliminate him from ballot access. Now, remember, ballot access is different than your right to run, because if they disqualify you for ballot access, there are still certain rules that may allow you to run as a write-in candidate, etc. But that doesn't mean the state has to recognize those particular votes. In addition to that, the Supreme Court ruled that certain states like Colorado did not have the right to remove Donald Trump from the ballot for insurrection. However, the U.S. Supreme Court did not say that these states do not have the right to remove him per state law if he's a convicted felon. The Supreme Court could have ruled on that if they decided to provide it in summary judgment. They did not. They leave the window open for states to determine ballot access until it is adjudicated in court.
Rashad, I'm fearful that this ignites and fuels his base, and it actually is a good thing for him.
I don't think it's a good thing for him. I understand the point and the sentiment, and will it infuriate his base? Of course it will. They will get more upset by the moment. He's a cult leader to them.
Yes.
So naturally, they're going to be hot about it. But there's a whole lot of middle-of-the-road folk, people that are conservatives, but they don't necessarily get down with the bigotry, et cetera. This part matters to them. The fact that he's a convicted felon, it may actually sway the electorate. But in addition to that, making him look as he is, which is simply a man. He's a human being. He's nothing more. He is not divinity.
Right.
He is not a God. He's none of
Yes.
that. Making him human, holding him truly accountable for the things that every single one of us would have been held accountable to if we did the same thing. Making him human is, to me, the absolute best thing that can happen in his crumbling empire.
I appreciate it. Listen, Rashad Richey, we always appreciate your time
Definitely.
and insight. Make sure you follow this man and check him out on 1380 WAOK. I appreciate you, black man.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, Rashad.
Thank you.
103.